So we hear a lot today about the mental health crisis in veterinarians, and I think it's a complicated subject uh, that does have many factors, I think, that contribute to it. As it pertains to equine dentistry and equine dentistry within veterinary medicine, I think there's certain things that I see practices doing that I think can be detrimental to having a healthy mental status. One of them that is really kind of spread throughout a lot of the industry is obsessing about what other people do. And what I mean by that is that if we look at equine dentistry, politics in general, a lot of vets are obsessed with who is doing dentistry instead of how they're doing dentistry. And so focusing on the wrong question leads to the wrong places. And I think something that a lot of people don't realize when they're in vet school or early in their career is it's really important to understand the concept of abundance versus scarcity. In the end of the day, your mindset is either going to be a mindset of abundance or it's going to be a mindset of scarcity, meaning that you're either going to think that there's not enough money, not enough clients, not enough this, not enough of whatever it is in the world, not enough kindness, not enough friendship, not enough love, not enough whatever. And so you're always going to be unhappy. Or you can believe that, which is a case, that there's more than enough of everything. And what we need to focus on is ourselves, not others. So I see a lot of practices when it comes to dentistry that don't focus enough on what's our skill level, what's our knowledge level, what are we doing for training, are we making sacrifices to become better at what we do in a horse's mouth. Not just maybe like a little one-day CE type thing here or there, but are we really committed to becoming excellent at what we do in a horse's mouth? Or am I focusing on what Steve down the road is doing? Because if that's the case, I don't have any control over Steve or what he does, but I have a lot of control over my life. And if I choose to invest in my continuing education heavily, if I choose to train just like I would a sport or a martial art at what I do to get the skill level, that I realize, it's not just a couple hours here or there. I'm not adding dentistry into the practice like some haphazard hobby, that I'm really committed to try and learn it from a wide variety of sources, not just breadth, but also depth, not just listening to 2 or 3 people, but really opening my eyes to the world of dentistry. If I do that and I become the best version of what I can be, then all of a sudden there is an abundance of horses to work on. There's more than enough. But if I kind of start with a narrow mind and I start focusing on everybody else, then I'm not putting the energy into my life, and I'm putting out a destructive kind of energy because I have this scarcity mindset. So I think for young veterinarians out there, or people wanting to build a dental practice or add more dental caseload to their practice, it's really important that you look at, are you the absolute best that you can be at what you do? Can you close your eyes, go to bed at night, and tell yourself that you've left no stone unturned in trying to become that best version of yourself when it comes to equine dentistry? And again, I urge you to look broadly in that sense, not just that you just train with 1 or 2 people. Are you in one little committee, one little group, one little subset? Can you shine if you go in a really wide circle outside of your comfort zone? If you can close your eyes at night and say yes, I promise you, you have no shortage of horses to work on, because you're going to get results that other people are not. But if on the other hand you feel frustrated, aggravated, angry at who's doing it, angry at what Steve is doing, then you're probably not looking inward at your own life enough. And I think that that's a big problem that leads only to unhappiness. Is you have to believe that there's an abundance of everything we want, and you have to do what it takes to get that. And that doesn't mean being super competitive. It doesn't mean being mean-spirited. It actually means the opposite, because if you believe that there's more than enough horses to work on, I love competition. I don't have any dental competition because very few people love it the way I love it. Very few people are willing to do what I'm willing to do to become better at it. And so there's more than enough horses for me to work on. If anything, I want to get more people to experience this. And I always joke that competition is not an issue, because people that are good at it, they're my friends, and people that are bad at it, I'm certainly not worried about them, other than the harm that they can be causing animals sometimes. So abundance allows you to build a sense of community, because now other practices are basically part of your community. They're people that you can work with, learn from, engage with. Even if they're doing the exact same type of work, you can build yourselves up. So, but if you believe, again, that there's not enough horses, then you start to withdraw into your own corner, and isolation is not good for your mental health. So you really have to spend, if you're looking at mentorship, the types of practices you're in, you have to be around people that have an abundance mindset and that are focused on doing the best they can. Because if they are, they're going to get pretty good at what they're doing, and they're going to be able to teach you that, and they're going to inspire you to look within yourself for the answers instead of looking at everybody else. Doesn't matter if you went to vet school for 8 years, if you studied for 8 years, 10 years, maybe you're even, got board certified specialist. Doesn't matter. In the real world, it responds to results, personalities, commitment. Even if I became the best in the world today, but I start to close my mind because I think I've arrived, I've seen this, where maybe I'm really, really good, I have all of the titles, and then I stop growing because I think that I'm it. Pretty soon you start to slip, and over 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, pretty soon you're so far behind everybody else because your mind narrowed, and you kind of lose track of the situation. So initials don't mean that you're good. Being good requires this continual love of what you're doing, this continual effort of what you're doing, continually engaging with others that are passionate about it, not being afraid of others in a competitive sense, because, for me, I know what I do. I know what I can do. Nobody can take it away from me. But I love meeting with other people that are good at this, and I can learn things from them. I have some friends that are better at parts of dentistry than I am, and I get to be around them and grow and refine my craft that way. And I know what I can do, so I don't, it doesn't threaten my personality. It doesn't threaten my ego. If you're so purely defined by what you're doing, then you're also going to be miserable. We're more than what we do. I'm more than just a horse dentist. And you have to know that, and you have to live that. And so if you take away horse dentistry from me, I love it. I would be sad, but I'm a lot more than that. I'm not defined by that. And in veterinary medicine, a lot of people tend to define themselves purely by, oh, I'm Nick the dentist, or I'm Joe the surgeon, or I'm, that's not a healthy behavior. There's a line. You also can't be lax about what you're doing. You have to be committed to it. You have to love it. You can't just be casual about it, because again, you're going to fall behind. So it's equilibration. It's this balance of you have to love it with a passion, and yet be able to separate yourself from it mentally. And then that frees you to learn, to grow, to engage, to have fun, to see it as a game. When it's a game, it's fun. I've been doing dentistry since 2001, so 24 years. And I can honestly say I love it just as much today, or more, than I did 25 years ago. And I think that's a method to protect yourself from burnout, is to free the burden of tying your identity to what you're doing, tie your identity to loving what you're doing, if that makes sense. So you tie it to the love you have for the subject, not the subject. You're not defined by the subject, because otherwise you're going to be like, my name is Joe, I'm the best surgeon, and people think I'm the best surgeon, and that's all you are. And if you think that way, then you're going to slip, because it's not driven by love, it's driven by competition. So focus on yourself, becoming the best version of yourself. Focus on finding mentors that have an abundance mindset, not a scarcity mindset. Don't worry about who's doing what. Worry about what you're doing, because it's the old saying, we have to make sure our house is in order before we look at other people's house. And most dental veterinarians that I know are way more worried about everybody else's house than they are their own. And I just don't think that's a healthy thing. So good luck out there. It's fun.